We are asked to come out of the house so that they can burn a house or destroy a house. And the minute we came out of the gate, one Meitei lady snatched those her luggage, check and see if they are carrying any luggage. The woman's intention was to come and rob us because they know that if we run out, we'll probably carry our gold and precious things and money and all. I am a bona fide citizen of India. I have an Aadhaar card. My right to vote was denied to me. I'm a displaced person. I don't even have the status of a refugee. At least if I have a status of a refugee, then UNHRC will be providing me with help. Home Minister also, he should take care of us. He's sending thousands and crores of rupees to Biren Singh government for us. But we did not receive a single paisa. If he doesn't want us, then give us our own space. Our Rambai Tengol family are already living in my house because my house is still habitable. It was not burned down or razed. So they still have it. They are this thing then. They are occupying my house and then I cannot even step into this thing. Like recently, the bomb exploded and one lady died. Unfortunately, she died. And then the Arambai Tengol chief said that we mishandled the bomb and it is misfire and then our people got injured. And he said that let's blame this bombing on the Kuki. And then the national newspaper like N9 or whatever, TV and all, they jump on that and say that how did the Kuki volunteer get such sophisticated bombs?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the PP Show. My today's guest is someone who flee from Manipur, even though she herself is half a Meitei. Please welcome Dr. Tara and her mother. Hello. Hello, Ima. Chakcha bara.
Darling,
You
Kachari.
look beautiful.
Uh,
How are you?
fine, fine.
Great. Hello, Dr. Tara. Welcome to my show.
Hello. Thanks for having us here.
Thank you so much. I just mentioned that you are half a Meitei, but you still had to flee Manipur. So please share everybody your experience. You know, uh, at the back of your mind, you might be thinking that, okay, I'm safe because my mother's a Meitei, so I just stay back. But then it didn't happen. You just had to run for your life, right? So looking back, thinking about it, it's so horrific. How does your mother feel about it? Is she able to cope up with the fact that her own people are chasing her out of her family house? So please tell me about it.
Yeah, we were under the illusion that my mother being a Meitei, we will be safe because and then I have two sister-in-law who are also Meitei. So when the trouble started on 3rd May, and when they started screaming, they said, kill the cookies, chase out the cookies. So we were like puzzled, we were wondering what is happening because they started burning a church and we started burning our neighbor's house, just opposite our house, our neighbor's house, Mr. Jensen housekeeper's house, his shops. 5 of them were torched, and then we saw it from our window. We went up to a roof. In spite of being afraid, we were also curious to know what was happening. So we ran up and we realized that things are serious. That if they burn our neighbors, that means they're going to come and burn our houses. So we realized that they have targeted all of us. So whether we are half Meitei or not, we also included in this targeted people. So we fled a house and then by going to the road where the crowd was screaming and yelling. We were afraid, but then we were asked to come out of the house so that they can burn the house or destroy a house. Fortunately, our house is not really razed to the ground or burned to the ground because right behind my house is the chief minister's car showroom called Samadon Car Showroom. Just about 3 feet between my bedroom, the our wall and his wall. So if they burn my house and his house also will be burned. But in the same compound, we have my eldest brother's house, which is right in front, then my sister-in-law's house and my brother's house at the back. They were all burned. They were all torched, and then the windows, everything was burned. The cylinder was bursting. So when we came out in the on the road, we were let out. The crowd came and said that the next house they were going to target, because we left our house and we went and hid in the house, in a hotel behind. It's known as the Grand Palace Hotel, thinking that since the Meitei are running the hotel, we'll be safe. But then they told the Meitei owner, the one who is the proprietor, to please, any cookie, if they're hiding, they please let them come outside. We're going to start destroying this house. So we were let outside. And then, because we were Meitei, so the crowd recognized my mother, because my mother is a nurse, and she delivered most of these boys in a
Oh.
neighborhood.
Mhm.
Yeah, because Paitiveng, the neighborhood that we live is surrounded, on the south side, we were surrounded by Changange. On the sing north, we were surrounded by Sadokpam and Sangai Pro. On the sing on the north, on the east, we were surrounded by the Sing Tongal Jamlekai, and in front we were surrounded by this thing Konjing Lekai. So we were surrounded by all this Meitei Lekai. So the people who came to attack us apparently must be from this area. Because they recognized my mother, and then when we came out, they say, I distinctly heard a Meitei guy who was leading the mob telling his people, do not harm do not harm this old lady, Bobo. Bobo
Um,
Busok Puyaroy. That means do not touch her, do not harm her, because she's our people. But of course, they chase her out. They didn't tell her that don't do anything. Only thing is that they save our life because of my mother. So the only good fact things that came out of is it because they recognized my mother, and because my mother is this thing Meitei, and then my sister-in-law, so they didn't kill us on the spot. Otherwise, they were about 1,500. I don't really count the number, huge crowd. So we they could have done anything to us, right? But they
mhm.
didn't do. At least they spared our life, and we were made to stand exposed on the road and watch everything, all the destruction they were doing, the mayhem that was happening in front of us. We stood and watched for at least 1.5 hours till we were rescued and taken to the army camp.
Mhm.
So it was a very horrible experience, because we had faith in our neighbors. We never expect that we will be chased out in this manner. And then we were unable to carry anything from the house because everything was so sudden. My sister-in-law was carrying an airbag for her son's diaper, her certificate, her gold, and her this thing. And the minute we came out of the gate, one Meitei lady snatched those her luggage and asked the rest of us, check and see if they are carrying any luggage.
Oh
That
my
means
God.
the intention was there not only to come and burn. The woman's intention was to come and rob us, because they know that if we run out, we'll probably carry our gold and precious things and money and all. And
Mhm.
as we were stepping out, all I could see was that my brother's house was in flame. There was a flame coming out from his windows, excuse me, and then his cylinder were bursting, you know. So all boom boom sound we could hear.
Mm.
I know it has happened, but it is very difficult to accept in our mind, because
Mhm.
we have been uprooted, totally uprooted from the familiar surrounding, the places that we know. Now we are in a different city, living in a rented place and struggling, struggling to make end meets. And the worst part is that, like, you just saw my mother who's here with me. She is 88 years old right now, and then for her to get used to habitual to this city life is very difficult for her. And imagine, she said, she has to undergo, she experienced the Japanese war when she was just 6 or 7 years old. And she said, but this war which happened between this cookie and the zombie people is the worst, because she said she had never seen something like this. She said when the Japanese were bombed, they were in the bunker, and then it was very safe. The Japanese people, in fact, came and gave them food to eat and all, some delicacies and all, which they have never tasted before. And they were very kind. But here, there was no humanity involved in what was happening to us. The worst thing, the worst atrocity was committed against us. Imagine. people coming to burn your house and chasing you out, and you are standing on the road and witnessing everything. What went through our mind was that we were still not sure whether we will be alive or dead. At that moment, we thought, are we going to escape or are we going to die now? And then we thought that at least we are together as a family because we were around 20, 22 family members. I belong to a big family. So we thought at least if we die now, we'll die together. That was the only comfort that we get. And then the other thing was that we were praying silently throughout in our hearts. We were praying. They were kids with us. My brother's grandchildren. The youngest was 1 year old, 4 years old. My brother's son was just 2 years old. Then 12 years old. Then my mother, who's 88, 87 then, and then my Down syndrome sisters. She was shocked, in shock, all these people, and then us, with just the clothes, the home clothes that we were wearing because we were about to retire for the night. It was around 8:30 when this all when it incident happened. So the nightmare is still continuing, and then we still are not at peace with the situation. We still cannot accept what has happened to us. We have to move on. I know life is as a standstill for us. People move on, everything is good for us, honky donkey, but for us, our life has actually have really really taken a 360-degree turn. And then, but being a Christian now, we know that there is a good future for us. There is hope in our God has given us hope. So this what Isaiah chapter 29, this verse is always coming to my mind. It says that for I know the plans that I have for you, the plan to prosper you. It is for our own good that God is doing that. But
Mhm.
but being human being, it is so difficult to accept what really has happened on 3rd May 2023, and what is still happening to us till now, 1.5 years to us, to all our community, to all our Kuki-Zo community. The thing that is continuing happening to us is something which the world has never witnessed, and I don't think anybody will see also. This kind of ethnic clashes that is happening here. It could have been curbed within a few weeks, but since the chief minister himself is involved in this engineering this whole conflict, obviously he doesn't want to end this, and then our suffering will continue. But we have faith in God.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. If we, hear this kind of story from somebody who has not witnessed, and it's more like, those narratives or those stories that people just discuss. But being the victim, you have firsthand experiences. We can, feel the pain, and then we are with you. In your sharing, you have mentioned that Chief Minister himself is involved and he is engineering this ethnic clashes. So how can we accurately put this? Recently, his leak of audio has been viral, circulated everywhere, and then he couldn't recognize his own voice, saying that it is doctored, right? But whom are we kidding? Everyone knows about it. So how accurately can you put together in a word that Chief Minister himself is involved?
Much before this conflict, there was a lot of newspaper, lot claiming that Kuki-Zo people are foreigners. He started, this his campaign of hate against the Kuki-Zo. He started ignoring Chuchanpur. He started ignoring MLAs. He sidelined here. He gave preference to the Naga MLAs, and then even on Facebook, he fought with the youngsters who are as young as 16, 17 years old, who are active on Facebook, and calling them junglis, you junglis, go back to Myanmar. Then we started thinking, like, what is this chief minister who's supposed to be a responsible man saying this These silly things, even to the youngsters, and fighting on Facebook and all. And then in the newspaper, so many things will come out. If I say something wrong, for example, I was a acting chairperson of ST Commission in December 2022. The National Commission for Scheduled Tribe were visiting Manipur, and I have made a statement inviting all the tribe leaders to come and meet them, and saying that the majority Meitei, in lieu of the majority Meitei demand for ST status, let's come together. Just because I said that, I was I got a call from the chief minister's office saying that I have to provide a clarification. I have to provide a clarification in a newspaper. I have to apologize, and I have to write a letter. So I did that. So there were a lot of things that was happening for very petty reasons. Our boys were actually, for example, Mark Haukib. He's one of the intellectual that we have, and he has foreseen what was going to happen. He talked about it, and he was quickly captured, and he was arrested and put in jail, and he's still in jail now. So, and then recently, so we knew all along, our community knew along that Biren Han was involved in this ethnic clashes. He was trying to actually chase us out, and not only chase us out, wipe us out from Manipur. Not only from Manipur, he want to wipe out the whole community. I know it's a very strong statement, but the way he is treating us, the way he's behaving, he himself admitted in the leak tape that I was the one who ordered this, and then everybody knew that he and the MP member of parliament named the Lei Semba, they are the one who created this radicalized militant group, who are all youth, and they have been radicalized, and they have been brainwashed into thinking that Manipur belongs only to the Meitei, and it isn't, and the Nagas and the Pangal, but not to the Kuki-Zo. They have been this thing brainwashed into thinking and saying that I'm the savior, I'm the one who's trying to save Manipur from these people. They're trying to break Manipur into pieces, they're trying to demand for the homeland. So these things were actually, before the problem happened on 3rd May, it was already in discussion, it was already on the talk. That he started going and attacking forested people settled near our forest. That was also all the Kuki village. The Nagas also settled in the forest area, but why did he target only the Kuki-Zo community? Their houses were thrown. They both think they were the police went with bulldozers and then bulldozed a home. They were thrown out and everything. So these kind of things were happening. So we knew it from before that something was happening, something was being planned because of the, and then as we know that our chief minister, not our chief minister, the Meitei chief minister is actually biased, and then he has been planning these things for 10 years or so, since he became the chief minister of Manipur. So we all knew about it, and it was not a surprise that when things happened on 3rd May, that his real agenda, his real motive came. And the leak tape, imagine, today if I close my eyes, many people who heard me speak will recognize my voice. I recognize your voice because I watch a couple of your TV. Even if I don't see your face, I will recognize the voice because you are a TV person, the celebrity, So
Uh-huh.
obviously I'll recognize. So similarly, who Biren has been talking a lot. He's been giving speeches. He appeared on TV, and yeah, he's been speaking and then talking out. So who doesn't recognize his voice? But unfortunately for him, he doesn't recognize himself. That means he's in denial. He's denying himself. So that's why I said that concrete proof has been exposed by this Wire, the newspaper in Delhi. Is a very prestigious a news channel. They have got the proof. They have got the affidavit. They have done everything, and they're the one who brought out the tape. But much before that, we knew about it. It's nothing new. Some like people, maybe the layman and the ordinary people will not be aware, but people who are in this or political fields, or people who are in so CSO and people who are doing cooking pea, and everybody, we knew that something was brewing, some trouble was brewing, and we knew that he's planning something against us much before the incident really happened. Actually, we are not fools. We
Mhm.
are not. We are, as a community. I feel that Kuki-Zo community is really a growing community. We are not stagnant community. We are doing so much better,
Mhm.
and so obviously we are all educated now. People are progressing a lot, so we can think about it. And then we thought about it. We have this think tank group in our society who has already foresee what is going to come, what is happening. Hence the demand for a separate administration, because as I've been chased out today, my mother wants to go back to my home in Infal West, in Paiteveng, but she
Mhm.
cannot go. I also cannot go. It's been all, and then how long are we going to stay outside? When will we go? When will we be able to go? You know? So, and then the future is so unsure. We are not sure about anything that is happening. So if Delhi or outside city is not my hometown, I don't have a home anymore. I don't have a place anymore. I don't even have a state anymore. The day when I was speaking on news channel, they are asking me in the Meitei people, go back to Myanmar. Why don't you go back to Chuchanpur? Why are you staying in the capital of India? That time when we left on 6th of May, no provision was made for us to travel to Lamka. And in Lamka, I am not so rich that I will have houses and land there, and then two to three houses that where I can go back and live. Even if I go to Lamka, I will be staying in a rented house, and I will be dependent on my relative. So where I want to stay, where what I'm doing till we decide on our future is my choice. It's not a Meitei choice. Meitei can't just tell me, why don't you go to Chuchanpur? If you find Delhi too expensive, who are they to say such things to me? And then asking me to go to Myanmar. I'm a bona fide Indian citizen. you know I'm
Mhm.
born and brought up in India. I'm a citizen of India. If other people might not think, and then they ignore our community, they don't think we are citizen anymore. But I know that I'm an Indian, and I'm bona fide citizen of India. And according to the constitution, all the rights that has been provided to people, to the citizen, I'm entitled to that. We are entitled to that. But unfortunately, we have been denied even that. For example, my voting right. I didn't vote this time. Not that I was interested in voting,
Mhm.
but no arrangement was made for people who are living outside of Manipur. They
Mhm.
made arrangement for people living in the relief camp, but not for people who are outside in Delhi, Bangalore, Calcutta, Guwahati, who are there. I am a bona fide citizen of India. I have an Aadhaar card.
Mhm.
Of course, they will say, argue and say you Aadhaar card can be this thing made in Suchanpur. But being a bona fide citizen of India, my right to vote was denied to me.
Mhm.
As a citizen, don't I have a right to vote? Don't I have a right to exercise my franchise? I have been voting all my life, at this age, I'm in my 50s. So why can't I continue my voting? But because they do not respect the people who are living outside, the internally displaced people, we are not respected. They don't think we are important enough that and our vote do not count. So they
Mhm.
don't give us this right to vote.
Mhm.
Am I? I'm a displaced person. I don't even have the status of a refugee. At least if I have a status of a refugee, then UNHRC will be providing me with help, some financial help every month. So far, I have not got a single paisa from Manipur government, nor have I received any help or any compensation from the central government, because we are living outside. They might provide some food and some items to the people living in the relief camp in Lamka, in Kangpokpi, in Saikul, and in Infal areas. But we who are outside, who have gone outside of Manipur, have not We have been neglected. Nobody care for us. Nobody think that we exist. We are. It's like as if we do not exist anymore. Nobody. The chief, the home minister also. He should take care of us.
Mhm.
If he's sending thousands and crores of rupees to Biren Singh government for
Mhm.
us, but we did not receive a single paisa.
Mm.
So how difficult and how long can we continue living like this in dire strait? How long can I continue paying my rent? How long? Where is the job for me here in Delhi? How do I continue support myself? How long can I survive? Ultimately, I'll be on the street. My family will be on the street, begging, for a livelihood. We'll be begging on the street for food and for shelter. So please, the government, at least the central government and the people of India should realize that we have been neglected. We have been ignored. We have been uh, given the status of no status. What is my status today? Can I call myself the thing a refugee? I have no status. It's like I don't exist. I don't exist now on this earth. I'm still alive. We're still alive. We're breathing, but we do not exist for some people. And on the other hand, our so-called Meitei friends, they have not stopped hurling insult, calling us servant, minai, saktu, how to, whatever, whatever, monkeys.
Mhm.
They call me a monkey. They call you a monkey. They call all the community a monkey. Then
Mhm.
what are they? Are the chimpanzee or they're pigs or something like that? So, but we don't resort back to calling them names because we have our respect, we have our integrity.
Mhm.
We don't want to stoop low, so low at the level and then start calling them names also. I
Mhm.
don't remember being a servant of a Meitei family. And
Mhm.
then how here now to be called a Minai? I'm sorry, I'm not going to be the Minai ever. And we are never the the servants, and we will never be the servants. And if we get our own separate administration or union territory as we are hoping for, we need to have a proper strategy. We need to have a proper leaders. We need to have proper people who will lead us. Now, right now, we don't know what is really happening. What is the momentum? Who's
Mhm.
leading this momentum for the separate administration union territory? We said that the underground group, UG or insurgent groups are doing. The MLAs are talking on our behalf, but we should be getting an update about what is the status, how far it has come. If not, then we have to change the strategy always to suit us. And Meitei is saying that even the chief minister himself has said that he's not going to allow even a single piece of land to be broken into pieces.
Mhm.
What does he mean by that? If he doesn't want this, if he want to preserve the integrity, then he should not have created this ethnic conflict in the
In the
first
first
place.
place,
He
yes.
should not have wiped out the Kuki-Zo community. His motive is very clear. He doesn't want us. If he doesn't want us, then give us our own space. Give us a place where I can live, where I can even build a small hut. You know, I don't
Mhm.
mind living in a hut now. From my bungalow to a hut, it doesn't matter for me. Material world doesn't matter anymore. I don't mind living in a hut in the hill areas of our place. But why is he not willing to even let go of us? First,
Mhm.
he chases out, and then he doesn't want to let go. So he is a paradox. He's
Mhm.
being hypocrite. He's hypocritical there. They say
Mhm.
something and do something else. Like recently, the bomb exploded and one lady died. Unfortunately, she died. And then the Arambai Tengol chief said that we mishandled the bomb and it misfire, and then our people got injured. And he said that let's blame this bombing on the
Which is.
Kuki. And then the national newspaper like N9 or whatever, and TV and all, they jump on that and say that, "Well, how did the Kuki volunteer get such sophisticated bombs and weapons?"
It came from China.
Yeah,
They
so it came
said,
from China and
yeah.
Burma, and it goes through the Meitei.
Uh-huh.
Meitei are getting this. So what happened is that they always turn the table against us.
Uh-huh.
And even the mainland people, without understanding, they take sides and they
Mhm.
bias against us. So these kind of things we need to counter again and again. We have to speak the truth. The truth cannot be hidden.
Mhm.
They say that three things in life that you cannot hide. One is the sun. We cannot hide the sun. We cannot hide the moon, and we cannot hide the truth.
That's
So the
true.
truth should come out. We have to continue, speaking out and countering the false propaganda of the Meitei people. The mainland people newspaper pick it up without knowing anything, without authenticating the news. They just, because they want the TRP to go up, so they just flash it on the national newspaper or channel, so that more people will watch. But my question to even to a mainland brother and sister is that why are we ignored? If it is happen in this thing, Rajasthan, or if it happens in Uttarakhand or in UP, or even in Delhi, these problems, wouldn't they curb it within a week? Wouldn't they
Mhm.
stop it? How come that it's been happening for 1.5 years and still nobody is demanding that this war should end, so that ordinary people like me and the 70,000 of people who are in the relief camp can start rebuilding their life,
Mhm.
so that they might not be able to go back to the home which whom they love. A home can be a palace, or it can be a bungalow, or it can be a small hut, but the place where you live is where your heart is. They're not even able to do that now. So
Mhm.
why is that people are not fighting for us? The European Union and other people, when they talk for us, what happened is that they're saying that the Modi government is saying that it is an internal matter. Do not interfere.
Yeah.
Okay, they don't interfere. Then solve the problem. Bring a political. This is a political issue. Bring a political solution to this problem that we are
Mhm.
facing. How can they extend and they, go beyond months after months, year after years? Are we going to live like this for 10 years without knowing
Mhm.
where we are heading, without knowing our status, homeless status we having now? So if I don't have a separate administration or union territory, where will I live? Can I live in Delhi forever? Can I go back to Infal and settle in my old home? Our Rambai Tengol family are already living in my house because my house is still habitable. It
Mhm.
was not burned down or razed. So they still have it. They are this thing then. They are occupying my house, and then I cannot even step into this thing. My sister is coming to Delhi now from Lanka. She have to travel for almost 30 hours because of the bad road. She started at 5 o'clock in the morning on second, and on third she reached Aizawl at 11 a.m.
Mhm.
Look at the road, through treacherous road. They have to go by, even they have to cross the river by boat. They
Mhm.
have, and they look at the road. So why is the government of the road authority not wondering, not considering about repairing a road or making a road motorable? Why are we suffering so much? The Meitei are flying in and out of the Infal airport, and here we have to travel 36 hours, and then also catch a flight from Delhi to here by another 3 hours. Why are we made to suffer? Are we not human beings? Animals are treated much better than the Kuki-Zo community.
This is
You
so
know,
sad, Dr. Tara.
it is very sad, but then it's the truth. And then we
Mhm.
have to highlight all this road problem also. Now, how will my mother go back? Luckily for when she came back to Delhi, she came by helicopter. Even the helicopter service is not flying every day. And because of the bad weather, and now because of the rainy season, it doesn't fly at all. The whole of this July, August, the flight was at a standstill. There should be more services. Why only one helicopter? We should have 10 helicopter flying in and out, because people are traveling to Aizawl, people are traveling to Delhi, people are trying to Calcutta. And the only route that we have to, this thing is that we have to approach Aizawl, even to go to Guwahati. So why are these things not, considered even by the center government? It is because we're not highlighting the problems that we are facing. Shouldn't we talk more about it? Shouldn't we make the media also go there and travel with us so that they can flash it in the newspaper and get the TRP rating very high, you know? So we have to request our news people from mainland India to also to travel with us and see how difficult it is for the Kuki-Zo people community to travel, even for basic. These are basic necessities. These are basic, and these are our rights actually enshrined in the Constitution of India, which has been denied to us.
Mm-hmm.
Soon the road will be cut off, and even the food supply from Mizoram will stop, and we'll not have food to eat.
Mm-hmm.
We'll not have potatoes to eat. We'll not have dal to eat. You know, so the suffering is not ending at all. Instead of ending the suffering seems to increase more and more for our community. But
Mm-hmm.
for the other community, it is the opposite. They're leading a normal life. Everything is normal for them. When they Arambai Tengol and all injured, they sent to the hospital in Raj Medicity, and they treated free. People are sponsoring the treatment and all. Here we can't even get treatment. My mother K had to come again to Delhi for her treatment because they could not diagnose her problem, which was a simple thing, like bladder construction obstruction she had. So she had to come, and 88 years old. How can you travel up and down on these 36 hours, 24 hours by bad roads? So the suffering, really, when I think about our suffering, I feel that, yeah, we are so resilient as a community. That's why
Mm-hmm.
we're able to bear this suffering. But for how long? How long can I suffer? How long can you suffer? How long can everybody, our community, suffer? How long can the 6 or 7 lakh people suffer? There's no end to our suffering.
We are robbed of our human rights. We don't even have, they're not giving us the right to live. When you live, when you're alive, you have to eat, but we have got nothing to eat. Sharing your story without, getting emotional. I'm so proud of you, listening to your story is making me cry. Um, I don't know how to put together into words when I try to describe about the Manipur situation. So many Meiteis, they used to attack me in the comment section saying that you're from Nagaland, you should be quiet, you don't interfere in the Manipur conflict. But how can I be a mute spectator when my people are struggling, when my people are deprived of their right to live, I must say. So
Pippi, nobody decide what we have to do. Nobody decide what we have to say. It is
mhm,
our choice.
yes.
You're a confident woman. I'm a confident woman.
Mhm,
Nobody can tell us what to do. We know what we have to do, and
mhm,
we decide for ourselves. Meitei doesn't decide what I have to say, what you have to say, and what we have to do. I decide for myself. Nobody is decide for me. And most of all, the Meitei have nothing to do with me. They don't have to decide on my life,
mhm.
how I should live, whether I should go back to Myanmar, whether I should go to Lanka. They can't decide for me.
Deciding someone's life, what to do and not to do is like violation of human rights. um
Yeah, it is.
it is.
The Hindutva or whatever, they're saying that we can't eat beef.
Mhm,
They said we can't eat beef. But our people in the Northeast, everybody's eating, including Meitei. They're Hindus here. They are the one who eat the most meat, the beef.
I
So
know.
these kind of things, okay, according to because of the religious sentiment, they're saying that, okay, then let them not eat, but we can't decide on people's food habit also.
Mhm,
We have a unique culture, no, of our food habit is so unique, in the Northeast. So they can't say that don't eat ngattu, don't eat sattu, don't eat the what do you call it? That bamboo shoot fermented. Don't eat this, don't eat that. Nobody can decide what we eat and how we dress and how we this thing live our life.
mhm. It was wonderful talking to you, Dr. Tara. I hope and pray that your mother recovered at the earliest. Those children she gave birth, no, those children she delivered in the hospital, they are attacking her, and then it's
At
so sad to
home,
learn about that.
not in the in the
Yeah, yeah.
hospital, at home. Yeah,
Oh, she delivered them
because
in their houses and then they are
yeah, because
attacking her.
I'm not trying to demean them, but most of them she delivered at home
Mhm.
because they cannot afford to go to the hospital, and then they could not afford to pay hospital fee. So my mother never got payment. She used to get like just that vegetables, the yendem which is in behind the house which they grow, or
Mhm.
some vegetable that they grow. They don't give her payment at all. In fact,
Mhm.
my mother used to take our old bed sheets and she used to cut them into pieces so that the child can be wrapped in those bed sheets, those
Mhm.
cotton bed sheets, and she give them free. They're old, of course, not a new one, but then she washed them and then she takes them whenever she go for delivery, so that the children can have at least some cloth to wrap themselves in.
Oh.
And so she's delivered more than 100, two
And
hundred.
then those hundreds and 200s radicals are chasing her out from her family home. This is so sad to learn. I hope and pray that no humanity ever experience our suffering in the days to come. This is so terrible. And then you guys are still traumatized, trying to digest the fact that this is still happening, right? Um, Thank you so much for your time. I hope the audience, especially the other community, learned something from our conversation. Praying for your mom's speedy recovery and convey my warm regards to your other family members. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so
Yeah,
much for
thank you,
your
thank
time.
you. Mm.
最